Hi, my name's Andrew Kite. In this tutorial we'll be going through how to correctly set up Facebook in your games being made with the Unreal Development Kit without the need of any scripting. This tutorial will make use of a custom Facebook Kismet which can be found and purchased over at randomstudios.net as part of the Social Kismet pack. This pack includes both Facebook and Twitter Kismets for designers and artists who may not be confident enough to tackle these integrations with Unreal Script themselves. Now, once you purchase this pack, you will be emailed two files. One file being the CFBundleURLTypes and another sequence action Facebook. We will need these two files to progress with the tutorial. Now, first up, we'll have to go to two websites. First being the Apple developer website. So if we can head over there now, we will need to log into our iTunes Connect account, head over to Manage Your Apps, and if you don't have an app set up already, please do so by clicking the Add New App and following the forms that Apple have set up for you. Once you have done so, you will be taken to a page which has this information on it. Now, the two pieces of information that we are interested in is the bundle ID and the Apple ID. Now, we can keep this page open for future reference as we head over to the Facebook developer website. Now, the Facebook developer website is right here, developers.facebook.com. Once here, we need to go to the Apps tab. And again, if you don't have an app set up with Facebook, it's pretty straightforward to do so. All you have to do is click this top right button and fill out the forms that Facebook have set up for you. Now, in our case, since we've got an app set up, we will go to Edit Settings. And again, once you've, if you don't have an application on Facebook set up and you have to go through the steps to create one, eventually you will be taken to a page like this as well. Now, you will have to fill out the display name, the contact email, and make sure sandbox mode is checked to enabled. Now, these are just the bare minimums that we need to test the Facebook application. Now, because we're using UDK, we need to check native iOS app. Now, this is where the information from iTunes Connect comes in. We need the bundle ID, which is, if we go back to iTunes Connect, that one right here. Copy that, paste it in this section right here. Now, for the iPhone, the iPhone App Store ID and iPad App Store ID, these two sections, we will need to go back to iTunes Connect again and copy and paste the Apple ID number into these two sections right here. Now, save changes once you have done the above. And what we need from the Facebook developer website is the app ID. Now, this app ID right here is the Facebook app that we've just created. So not the game that UDK creates. It's the Facebook one. So copy this code right here. So copy. Now we can minimize this. Now, what we have to do with that code is go to our CFBundleURLTypes, which we received in the email. Now, where it says Facebook app ID in square brackets, we have to highlight that, including the square brackets, and paste in the app ID we retrieved from Facebook. So it should look something like this. Now, copy this entire code. I'll minimize this. Now we have to go to our UDK game install directory. Go to UDK game, build, iPhone, and open up UDKGameOverides.plist. Now I use Notepad++ just because it makes things easier to read. Now, yours should look something very similar to this. Now, the code that we just copied from this CFBundleURLTypes, we have to put in a spacing right here and paste the code that we took from that file. So it should look something like this. Now, just to make things cleaner, indent those sections in, and it should look something like that. Now what we have to do is save that. Now we can close that off. One more thing that we'll have to do is go edit the, the DefaultEngine.ini. Now to do that we have to go to our UDKGame configuration folder, DefaultEngine.ini. Now we scroll down a little and we'll find this section here. So what we have to do is in the app ID equals, where it says Facebook app ID, we'll have to paste in the app ID that we got off Facebook again. So that, again, if we go to Facebook, that's that code right there. We'll copy that again and paste that in place right there. Also, make sure that you've got underneath plus permissions equal email, and under that again, plus permissions equal read_stream. Once it looks like that, you can go ahead and click File, Save. Now, next up, we have to put in the sequence action facebook.uc file in our scripts folder. So to do that, we go to the UDK games file. So in the UDK directory, we've got the development folder. We go src. Now, in my case, I've got Randy Game. Now, you might be using my mod or your own specific folder. So go to the folder that you have your other source files set up in. Go to classes and drag and drop the source code in there. So you should see that right there. Now, what we can do is minimize this. Now, for this to take effect, we have to compile the scripts. So we open up front end, go script and full recompile. And once that's done, it should say succeeded. Now, if you have compiled your scripts and you still cannot see the Kismet in the editor, it's good to point out that you should double check that your folder where you've got all your script files is in the DefaultEngine.ini file. So to do that, all you have to do is go to UDKGame, configuration folder, DefaultEngine.ini, and under Unreal.editor engine, you'll need underneath, so make sure it's underneath UDK base, you'll need the folder, so plus edit packages equal Randy Game. So Randy Game being the folder. If I go back here, development src, that folder, Randy Game, is where all my source, my script files are. That has to be in this section as well. So if not, add that underneath UDK base, save it out, and compile your scripts again. And after doing that, you should be able to use the Facebook Kismet. Now in the next section, we'll be going through how to actually use the Kismet in the editor itself.